Hey YouTube, this is Itchy, and I want to talk to you for a moment about the tsunami debris that is starting to wash up on our west coast shores. This is probably, in my opinion, one of the largest homeland security threats we have ever faced. And what should have been done about this situation by either the U.S. Coast Guard, the Department of Homeland Security, FEMA, Greenpeace, NOAA, should have mobilized a task force to deal with this situation before it actually got to our shores. And this is something that's been in the back of my mind, but there's been so many other things that need to be dealt with or prioritized, and now it's starting to hit. Any News ran a story today that Vancouver Island had some barrels wash ashore, some floats about 2 weeks ago, and ocean researchers who have been tracking this mass of debris, which is about equal in size to the state of Texas. They've been tracking it and have been warning that it's coming over a lot more quickly than anyone had anticipated. However, there's a very high possibility that this debris is going to be radioactive. And we can discuss the mechanisms for that, but basically we're not going to know until it gets here. And police departments are being warned to get Geiger counters so that when the stuff does come ashore, they can check it and deal with it appropriately. The problem is it's going to be landing on the beaches. And if this had been contained offshore, either by nets or freighters or fishing boats or a private group of individuals, it wouldn't be as hazardous in terms of contaminating the beach areas. And I don't usually make predictions. I try to use as much verifiable data as possible. But if this is true, the West Coast beaches of North America are toast. And I hate to say that, but if we have stuff that's washing ashore, and what you just saw was some underwater footage shot by another YouTuber from the La Jolla area, you know, it's not going to be confined to one area. Pretty much anywhere the ocean current touches, there's going to be the possibility of radioactive debris washing ashore. This is going to be a huge public health threat. And I predict that all of these beaches are going to need to be closed down indefinitely until they can be fully decontaminated. And that will have to be ongoing as this mass of debris is so unbelievably huge. It's not only the beaches of California that are going to be affected by this, it's going to be all of this coastline. Now, some of the greatest universities that we have, and they all have ocean study programs, are located in this area. And I really think there needs to be a task force either implemented in the police departments or with the federal government, or a group of individuals that start to come up with a plan rather than just despair about how potentially hazardous this is going to be to the population, to tourism, not to mention the sea life. You know, anyone who works in the fishing industry in this area, if this debris is already hitting this coast, then the radioactive water has hit it long before. And of course, you know, there's many different variables in ocean currents. It's a very complicated study, and there are many different things that can affect how things travel in the water. You know, wind speed and temperature of the ocean, storms, salinity, depth, the size of different items of debris are going to travel faster if they're heavier or they have a propensity to float. This is something that's going to be ongoing, though, as this stuff comes ashore. And if it's radioactive, any areas where it comes ashore are going to need to be closed down until the beach can be decontaminated, which you can't do until the stuff stops coming. Now, it's very unfortunate that this was not dealt with proactively, so we need to deal with it reactively. And I'm kind of at a loss because of the scope of this situation as how it should be handled. But all I know is that waiting for the stuff to wash up on the shore and then measuring it with Geiger counters is kind of missing the boat, so to speak. The policemen who are now being advised to have Geigers ready to go out and check this stuff, they're going to be needing to protect themselves too, especially if they're going to be continually exposed to this stuff. You know, their health and welfare needs to be taken into consideration. And if this is something that is ongoing, which it will be, here's an opportunity to create a huge new job force of people who are going to monitor this stuff and deal with it appropriately and get the data to researchers who need to compile it so that we can share it and learn from it, and also to protect the health and safety of our citizens and our wildlife as much as possible. Although at times this seems like it's just an overwhelming situation to even manage anymore. But having that kind of attitude is not going to be useful. It's not going to get us anywhere to be depressed or upset about the situation. But we do need to start dealing with it, and we needed to start dealing with it months ago. I don't know what you guys think. Comment below if you have any ideas or you know anybody who's working on this, so we can try to get a network of people going that can share data and information and reports.